Hi, this is Mr. West, and today you're watching a walkthrough video for Unit Rate Sheet 61A. This, of course, is from Math-Salamanders.com. Make sure to check out Math-Salamanders. They have awesome worksheets and designs and guides and all that stuff related to math. So let's go ahead and start this one. We have to find the missing numbers with each of these unit rates. So we're given a rate, and essentially what each one of these is a ratio, which is comparing two different things. But these are more popular ones that you may see. So we're going to handle these ratios and simplify them to find the unit rate. So what a unit rate is, when it's talking about unit, it's talking about per one unit. One of the most popular ones that most people recognize, whoops, I need an I there, is miles per hour. Okay, and this is a unit rate because every time we're doing miles per hour, like for example, 55 miles per hour, we're talking about per 1 hour. So this top number generally isn't a 1. It could be, but we're talking about the denominator being the 1 unit. So per 1 hour, that's a unit rate, okay? Per one thing, how much do we get or have or whatever it is, okay? So let's go ahead and handle a couple of these, and I think you'll understand a couple after a couple examples. So we have 35 books in 5 boxes. How many books per box? So if you're working at Amazon, you want to know how much you can ship per box. Well, this might be a good problem for you. So we have 35 books per 5 boxes. This would be our ratio. Okay, so here's our ratio, completely correct, but it's not as helpful as it would be for unit rates. If you ever take a business, supply chain, or accounting class, they're going to talk about how the unit rate is one of the most important things that you're gonna work with. So we have 35 over 5. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to simplify these fractions. To simplify, what we're going to do is we're going to find a common factor between 35 and 5. In this case, it is 5. And we're going to divide both the top and bottom by this number. If we do this, we're going to make sure that it is still equivalent, okay? Because really what we're doing is we're dividing by 1. 5 over 5 is equal to 1. So if you divide by 1, you don't change the value. You just change how it looks. So we're going to change how this problem looks. We're going to make it more simple. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 5 divided by 5 is 1. There we go. We got our unit rate right there. Okay, so now we know that we have 35 books per box or per 1 box. But that's implied. With unit rates, we know that when we say this per, first off, per means divide, or we're talking about fractions. That's why miles per hour is always written like this, 35 miles per hour. Okay, per box, again, that means dividing per box. Okay, so that's the first example is we have 35 books, whoops, not 35 books, 7 books. Okay, we had 35 books per 5 boxes, but for 1 box, we have 7 books. Okay, here we go, 100 miles in 4 hours. Okay, so that's just what I did over here is a unit of speed, miles per hour. Sorry, I'm zooming in so much. Let me calm it down a little bit. So let's go to green. So we have 100 miles per 4 hours, but we want a unit rate. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to find out something that we can divide both these numbers by to simplify them. Now, and if we're trying to get unit rate, we're going to start with dividing it by that number, okay? So I said common factor here. Yeah, that's generally how you simplify fractions. But if we want to get a unit rate, we're always going to divide by this bottom number, the denominator. So 4 hours. So divide by 4, divide by 4. Okay, again, that's equal to 1. And we get 25 miles in 1 hour. Okay, and again, that's 25 miles per hour. That's how unit rates are expressed. Okay, so 25 miles per hour. 9 songs in 36 minutes. Okay. So like let's say you're listening to the radio and after 36 minutes you counted 9 songs. So how many minutes per song? Okay. If you just went like this and did 9 over 36 and you divide by 36 because that's the denominator I just talked about to get the unit rate, we are doing, this one would be songs per minute, which is going to be less than 1, right? A song is generally over a minute long. That's not what it's asking for. It's asking for minutes per song. So you have to be very careful. You have to actually start. I wanted to handle this one for this purpose. is you have to look here and see what it's asking you for. Which unit rate does it want? It wants, for this one, it wants minutes on top. Let me change the color here. Blue. It wants minutes on top, and it wants songs on the bottom. So let's start with the units. If we want to get the unit rate correct, we want to make sure we start with the units, which is minutes per song. So the minutes is 36, the songs are 9, and now we can keep going. So minutes, this is songs. Now we're going to divide both the top and bottom by the denominator, which is 9 to get the unit rate, and we get 4 over 1, so 4 minutes per song. That makes a little bit more sense than what we had before. Okay, so each one of these, we should actually start over here. Minutes per episode, so we need to have minutes on top, episodes on the bottom. So we have 200 over 5. So we're going to divide by 5 because that's the denominator to get the unit rate, and we get 40 over 1. So 40 minutes per episode. Okay, so I hope you guys see this. Pens per pack. Okay, again, this means divide. Per means divide in math. So we have 72 pens over 9 packs, and then we go from there. So 72 divided by 9, that is 8. 9 times 8 is 72, so we get 8 pens per pack. Just double check here, minutes per mile. We're going to put minutes on top, 42, and then miles on the bottom, 6. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to set it up. That's what the first thing I would do is make sure these are all set up correctly. So this is 64 biscuits per divide pack 4, and then handle it that way. Let's do maybe a couple more. Miles per hour. Okay, miles per is divide hour 5, just like that. Okay, maybe we'll finish maybe one more. Let's see, weeks per book. So we're going to do weeks 72 divided by, that's per is divided by books 36. We divide by 36 to the top and bottom, and we get 2 over 1, so 2 weeks per book. So that's all we have for today. I hope this simplified it a little bit. We're going to start with the units first on the right. Make sure we can set it up correctly and divide by the denominator to get the unit rate. If you have any questions on this worksheet, make sure to leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.